Hi, I'm Randy Robison. This is Life Today TV. I have actor, producer David A.R. White with me. Good to see you again, man.
Thanks for having me.
But I want to talk about God Is Not Dead and the success you had with that. But before, I want to congratulate you on your best movie yet.
Wow.
And that is Do You Believe?
Thank you.
I feel that way. Have you gotten other similar good feedback?
No, not at all.
You're talking to the wrong people then.
No, it's been really exciting because God's Not Dead's a hard thing to follow up, and we've been testing Do You Believe in churches across the nation, similar that we did just playing for pastors and church leaders, and that has been the overwhelming comments that have come in is that it's actually testing better than God's Not Dead tested.
That does not surprise me.
It's pretty cool.
And I think, and I won't get too film nerdy on you, try not to, but you got a biased audience when you go to a church with a God Is Not Dead or a Do You Believe, because they hear the message, they see the gospel, they love it. They almost don't want to say that if they don't for any other reason because it's a Christian film and they want to support Christian films. And I get all that, and that's good. But from a writing standpoint, from a directing standpoint, from an acting standpoint in a big way, Do You Believe is a superior cinematic production, right?
From a financial standpoint too, as well.
And I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
So let's back up for just a second, because God Is Not Dead was a $2 million movie, and gross worldwide, I saw 62.6 million. Is that in the ballpark?
Well, just actually domestically, it was about 63.
63.
Yeah, and then worldwide, I think we've. Well, it's overall whatever. I don't know. It's over 100 million though.
Did it get okay? Now, a lot of people in Hollywood are jealous of you for that.
Yeah, they are.
Because that, from a financial standpoint, that is not just successful. That is crazy off the charts, beyond your wildest dreams successful.
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
It is.
It really is. It's actually, I think it's like 34th highest, whatever rate of return ratio movie in the history of cinema.
What were you hoping?
34th.
What were you hoping to do? When you make a $2 million movie, what are you
you know what, for us, we were hoping, it was our first kind of, we had taken several other smaller theatrical movies.
Right.
But this one, for us, it was 750 screens. Normally, on a wide release is 3,000. And so we came out against, everything that was on 3,000 screens. And we were hoping maybe 15, 20 million. And that we had gauged that number based off the Facebook. When the movie came out in March, in October, we had released the trailer on Facebook, and it was shared between 5 and 10 million shares, which it became the #1 shared page in the world.
Wow.
And so we knew that we had something special and that there was a movement happening here and that there was, people were really being attracted to this film. And so, again, we hadn't really entered the only other theatrical movie that we had done. It was a movie called What If, and it had done like 800,000 on 200 screens. And so we didn't have much to compare it to, but based on, the amount of Princeton P&A funds that goes into it, and you expected, maybe 15 would have been a very nice success for us.
Nice success. So when you hit the 15, you're all real happy.
Yeah, I did 9.2 the opening weekend.
I did see that, which is great. That's a great marker too. You know.
It was funny because Monday morning Hollywood wakes up and they've been tracking it since the day it came out because they're the opening day, and by Monday, 2-3 days later, they're like, first of all, who is Pureflix and what is God's Not Dead? And it's on the cover of every magazine, news station. Everybody covered it, and they just had that big question. And then, you all of a sudden have these agencies like William Morris, CAA, ICM are the biggest agencies, and they have those war rooms. If you've ever seen shows, around those agencies. Where they talk about strategies, and you have some of the coldest hearts in Hollywood running these war rooms, and for whatever reason, Pureflix and God's not dead gets brought up in these war rooms, and talk about a witness that you couldn't do in any other way. Nobody would ever even look at it if it hadn't done those numbers. So it's just a tribute to God and how he wanted to place us in that time for such a time as that.
So when you do that, and I understand that that's not all profit necessarily. There's a lot of costs involved.
There's a lot of breakdowns and everything.
There's a lot of breakdowns.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
I'm
guessing that PureFlix probably had more cash in the bank than you'd ever had.
Yep.
And so now you're looking, what do we do next?
Yeah.
Because it's not retirement time for you.
No, not at all. And that's the funny thing is that everybody kind of, they're like, well, now you're going to retire, or what are you going to do next? Are you going to go do mainstream movies like you really want to do? And and for us, it was like, we're going to do the same thing that we've always been doing, just that we're just, it's like God blesses you with gifts and talents and use them to be excellent at what you do. And ultimately, we always say that prayer, Lord, expand our territories for your kingdom. And so, do you believe it's a bigger budget?
Right. That's where I was asking.
Yeah. And so with God's Not Dead, though, God's Not Dead establishes the existence of God for us. That's why we did it. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? And is God real and alive? And then the next step in Christian faith is about the cross, the relevancy of the cross in today's society, and how does it relate to you, me, everybody?
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. And that was really the foundation of why we did Do You Believe?
You could have done it without Sean Astin, Mira Sorvino, Lee Majors, Cibil Shepherd, a few other people that I recognize whose names I may not recall. But you did it with a cast that it's a bit of an all-star cast.
It is, yeah.
That was very
a lot of
much
Golden
on
Globe,
purpose.
Emmy winners, and Academy Award winners in this cast. Yeah. I mean, other Christian producers, it's not like you have to have stars in these movies. You can do them without stars. For us, we really believe that the ministry is in front of the camera and behind the camera, but it's ultimately, you bring it to another level, and it's just another way of spreading the gospel. There's so many stars that now are reading these scripts that they wouldn't have done on a regular basis. Right. And you see actually how Jesus says, "My word will not come back void," and how he is impacting them through his word in these movies.
Yeah, well, you guys really captured it.
Thank you.
One of my complaints about Christian film, to be the armchair critic for a moment, is that they can be real preachy at times, And I always say, show, don't tell, right?
Yeah.
I want you to show it to me, and be succinct and to the point. If you have that line that sums up, your treatment of the film in one line. But a lot of Christian films feel the need to just preach.
Yeah.
And that's okay in a context, but to me it gets wearisome. You guys, one of the best scenes, and I won't spoil the movie for anybody, is the portrayal of the gospel between the two brothers, black guys, gang members.
Yeah, Pretty Boy
and Criminal.
Yeah, Criminal.
Yeah. It didn't sound cheesy, didn't sound preachy, sounded very real, and I thought it was hugely effective.
Yeah, and I think that what is interesting about this is that it's not so much because we hear that a lot, and to the testament of the other filmmakers that have made, some of those cheesy movies, and I've been in some of the cheesy movies, along the lines. I don't think it's so much the actual that it's it's the gospel in there, but what I think that we're doing better is we're making more organic, real characters. And so when they actually speak that gospel, because Do You Believe is a bold movie. It's an evangelistic movie. The truth is all over that movie, and we're not holding back in any way, shape, or form.
It preaches.
Yeah, it preaches. It's still
preachy.
preached. Yeah, it doesn't sound
sense?
preachy because I think the characters are more believable.
Absolutely.
And that I think is that's the key, the linchpin.
Absolutely. One thing people are going to wonder, are all these actors that I know of, are they all Christians?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I don't know. First of all, of course, I don't know because I don't know what's inside.
Right.
I know some of them are believers.
Do they profess Christianity?
Some of them do. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. I think it's important. Again, it's a ministry to people that are in the movies. So we have a lot of crew members and a lot of cast that are not believers. Every now and then, we've even used a director that is an atheist or not a believer. Yeah. And what's exciting for us, though, is it's a chance, it's a witnessing tool. And so they're with this thing, this script that is truth.
And they're trying to make it good because they want to look good.
Yeah, totally. They have to learn these lines over and over and over again. And so part of the fun is, it's always great to have Christians on set. And we want Christians in the positions of power that make the final decisions, so we make sure that our product is what it's supposed to be. But it's also cool when that word seeps in and all of a sudden they have change.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Our church has hired musicians who are not Christians, knowing they're not Christians, to bring them out of the clubs and let them play at church for a while and turn and watch them get saved and watch their lives turn around. So I
exciting.
Totally get that.
Yeah. Cibil Shepherd, for an example, when she got the script, we pray a lot about who we're supposed to have in these movies because we know that it's a big deal, and for whatever reason, Cibil was in our hearts that we were supposed to have Cibil Shepherd, and when you think Cibil Shepherd, you don't think, okay, she's a Christian movie star or she's going to be in a Christian movie. You don't think that at all. But at this time, for such a time as this, she had read this script, and it was at a time when she was coming back to the Lord to her faith in Jesus. She's open about this. She's been talking about it on Entertainment Tonight and everywhere else. Today's show, she did it today, actually, about her relationship with the Lord. And the script, I think, she says it was just that perfect time.
It was that action item, I bet.
Yeah, it was an action item.
That's the theme of the movie, yeah.
And she's wonderful in the movie, and you see even the character that she plays, it's such a, you can see it.
Yep. Well, let's not ruin it for everybody. Let's just tell most people. Now, not everybody will see this interview before it opens. Mm-hmm. So the date of release is
March 20.
March 20.
Yep.
So if it's after that, catch it in the theaters if you can. If you missed it, go find it on DVD or Netflix or wherever you guys end up releasing it. I would hope to see something like this on one of the cable movie channels.
Yeah.
I would think an Epix or somebody would pick it up.
They would, yeah. It's just a matter of, we don't know. We haven't done those deals yet, but for sure, check it out in the theaters if it's still there. Definitely. Because every time, you go and you buy a ticket, you are casting your vote saying, I want more and more of this.
That's exactly
and
right.
That only helps.
You send that message to Hollywood.
Yeah, these films in the theater.
What was your production budget for?
$5 million.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all? Mm-hmm. Heck of a job. You shot it up in Michigan?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a $10 million movie.
It looks like New York City.
Yeah. We shot it in Michigan and Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes place in Chicago.
Okay.
And some in LA.
Okay. And so, how many screens are you opening on?
1,300.
Okay, so almost double the screens of God Is Not Dead.
Yeah, and it's opening in about, I think we're in 7 or 8 different countries simultaneous with this release.
Really?
All Latin America is opening up at the same time.
Really?
And that's been exciting in Canada, and it's exciting to see.
Yeah. So that one's in the can. That one's, I know, the big push. Surely you got something in the works.
Yeah. Well, you got to do something, I suppose, right? We're going into production on God's Not Dead 2 in May.
Really? Kevin Sorbo again?
Kevin Sorbo.
No.
Here's the spoiler alert.
Oh.
He died.
Right.
In the first one.
Right.
So no Kevin Sorbo in this one. Although we love Kevin Sorbo, but
he was good.
But he died.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I caught myself there.
No. There was actually rumors that Kevin Sorbo was coming back to life in God's Not Dead 2.
Well, you would never have a character come back to life in a movie, would you?
No, we wouldn't. Or would we? But yeah, God's Not Dead 2 is going to be exciting. We actually think it's better than the first, and the script is. It tackles some really key issues that we're dealing with.
We'll keep up with you and look forward to that. And we want to follow what you're doing, what PureFlix is doing, movie stuff. What's the best place?
You can always follow davidarwhite.com. It's nice and simple, and then you can see all of my social media stuff and how to follow me on that. And then pureflix.com is where, is our key place to come to see the movies and to see what we're doing next.
If churches want to do a screening of an old movie, a new movie, current movie, can they contact you through?
They do, yeah. We have pureflix.com. Go there and you click on the church showings. But that's important too. The church movie ministry is a really key thing because churches use these movies as outreach tools. There's almost no money to rent them. It's very, very inexpensive. For us, it's about getting that word out. And then they bring people that might not come to an early morning service, but they will come to see a movie night. And they come out and they see, and so
that's a great idea.
Churches across America run PureFlix movies, and of course, God's Not Dead obviously is running in churches all over America right now.
But how many you got in your catalog?
Close to 100.
Yeah.
So there's so many different. The neat thing about Christian film too is that it's just opening up the genres for us. When we established PureFlix, we wanted to make these films on a consistent basis, and make not just one movie that you make every 2 years, 3 years, or whatever, but to make consistent flow of this content so families have something to watch.
Heck yeah. Well, keep it up.
Thank you.
We appreciate what you're doing. Check out the movies. If you haven't seen Do You Believe? See it in theaters. If you missed it, see it on TV or Netflix.
Go to pureflix.com and that'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, and then follow all the websites. And send David a message on Facebook. You can follow him and tell him what a great job he's doing. Appreciate all that you do and appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.